What's going on, YouTube? It's the Bushy Beard, and I'm back, and I'm bushier than ever. And right now, I'm going to the islands. Survivor, baby! It's been a while, but we're back with Survivor. Alright, we're trying to get the buff right here. I got my Survivor buff. Oop. It's hard to do in this mirroring camera here. I got my buff, got my mug. Says Bushy Beard. Still love it. Thank you. And we are back with the most cold-blooded eliminations in Survivor history. This is a recent video, so one that I'm thinking of will probably be on it. Might be number one. But we're going to go through it, and I'm going to talk about it because I've seen Survivor so many times. It is fantastic. Such a good show. Just two quick updates. One, down in the comments, we have the fundraiser for the domestic violence awareness. That's this month in America. And so I am raising money for the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence. And if you think that is a worthwhile cause, please do donate some money to it. Also, I am doing a giveaway because it's my birthday month, so I like to give. I'm sorry, I was reading some of these titles, but it's my birthday month, and I like to give things away, so I'm doing a giveaway. It's in the official October giveaway video. I think it's something like that. It's called something like that. And so if you want to check that out, feel free. If not, I'm going to change this up, guys. If not, that's okay. But it's going to tell you how to win and what you can win. And so, yeah. And here we go. Let's do. Here we go. Most cold-blooded eliminations in Survivor history. The one I'm thinking of is off of the Champions season where they blindsided... Not really blindsided, where Sandra gave her immunity idol to Denise, and Denise then voted her off the same exact one. But the queen stays queen. Adios. My favorite player of all time.
Guys, welcome to Idled Out, where we talk all things Survivor. My name is Luke, and today we're talking about the most cold-blooded vote-offs in Survivor.
All right, Luke. All right, I'm definitely going to actually subscribe to this channel because I love Survivor and I need to do more Survivor content. So, Luke, let's go.
For history.
In
Survivor, you gotta vote people out. That's the game.
Actually, what might be number one is Eric's blunder.
Everyone knows they signed up for. But sometimes, vote outs go above and beyond normal gameplay. They get personal. They really betray trust. Chaos Cass, I think is her name. What I'm saying is, there's your average run-of-the-mill vote, then there's these, which all require a particular killer
Tony, sorry I'm pausing a lot, but Tony is such a beast.
Instinct that you either have or you don't. Some people you'd expect to have that killer instinct, like Boston Rob and Russell, are here. But there are also players you think wouldn't be capable of such cold-blooded, personal backstabbing.
Yeah, man.
And yet here we are.
Isn't it?
Before we go any further, I want to note that just because someone pulled off a particularly brutal blindside doesn't...
That's going to be on there.
...make them, like, a bad person or anything.
Come on, Dreams.
I make no judgment call on the moral...
That whole thing blew my mind. Like, come on, Dreams. You were given a truck. You were not going to win either way, right? You had zero chance of winning the $1 million. Zero chance. And you did that. Could have left with some dignity. I understand the chance. You have zero chance of winning if you give away your immunity idol. Or immunity necklace. But you have some chance if you keep it, right? I get that.
Character of those playing a game for a life-changing amount of money. I generally think everything is fair in love and Survivor, and come on, we all know where the moral line is. That all said, let's count down the top 5 most brutal, most cold-blooded vote-offs in Survivor history. At number 5 is Danielle's elimination in Survivor Heroes vs. Villains, spearheaded by Russell. Since early on at Villain Beach, Russell, Parvati, and Danielle have been a strong trio, somehow managing to turn an alliance deficit,
as Russell would say, my dumb girl alliance,
of 6-3 into full control of the villain camp. And up until episode 12 of Heroes vs. Villains, these three plan to go to the end with each other. But that all ends when Russell gets unexpectedly jealous of Parvati and Danielle's relationship and tries to manufacture a feud between the two of them by falsely telling Parvati that Danielle wants to vote her out, so that he has an excuse to
I will say this. I was highly highly disappointed with Parvati's play on Champions. Not just because she just wasn't who she was in these, and so we didn't get that from her. We got a lot of what we expected from a lot of the other ones. We just didn't get what we expected from Parvati. And that's fine. She's a mom now. She's living her life, and that's good. I'm glad you are who you are now, Parvati. But we just didn't get what we expected.
Target Danielle. Of course, Parvati and Danielle immediately compare notes and realize that Russell is trying to stir up trouble, honestly to the detriment of his own game, as Danielle is literally the only person left in the game that he has a shot to beat. Look at Colby when Russell tells him he's voting Danielle.
It's only one thing that has to happen today, and that's Danielle go home. Really? Really?
He was happy about that.
Even he's like, you're sure, dude? You're sure? It's a move fueled...
I can't necessarily remember who wins this season. Don't let me know. I'm going to rewatch them all again. I think this is the year Parvati won.
Entirely by jealousy and seems to have no rational basis whatsoever. I think this is the point where 70-something straight days of playing Survivor with only a 2-week break
That's
in
true.
between seasons caught up to Russell.
Yeah, for
he
sure.
just wasn't thinking straight, and you can literally see the loss of sanity and rationality in his eyes. But Jerry joins in the blindside fun, and Colby and Rupert obviously jump on the opportunity. So Danielle goes from early game ally who joined up with Russell when almost everyone else wanted him out, to member of the jury in the span of an afternoon.
Is it feeling personal?
Or did Sandra win? I can't remember who won.
Yeah, Jeff, it is. The fourth most cold-blooded vote ever on Survivor is Brenda's blindside by Dawn at the final 6 of Survivor Caramoan. Brenda and Dawn had a close relationship in the second half of Caramoan. This was built upon a genuinely beautiful act of human decency by Brenda when she dove to the bottom of...
Yes, I remember that. No, I remember this now. I remember this, and this was a big thing at the end, because I believe, I don't remember her name, went all the way to the end. No, that was a big
lagoon
thing.
To recover Dawn's lost retainer.
That was huge.
You can tell just how self-conscious Dawn is about her missing teeth, and Brenda stepped outside of the game for a moment and did something that I'd like to think we'd all do for anyone. Brenda and Dawn are so bonded by this experience that a few episodes later, at the family visit, Brenda wins the challenge and chooses Dawn to share
and then gets voted
the
out.
loved one's reward, until Jeff gives her the opportunity for her and Dawn to give up their loved one's visit so the other 4 remaining players can spend time with their loved ones, which Brenda obviously does because jury management. Brenda again comforts a frustrated and distraught Dawn, while the remaining players enjoy burgers and beers on a boat within eye and earshot.
It's just okay. You're not missing much.
This whole thing, the family member visit, is nothing but a setup. It's nothing but a setup. It never can go your way. You give it up. Oh, man. My whole thing is if I ever play Survivor, I will never take... I will play in all the rewards. And I will try to win all the rewards. But I would never take a reward. So, like, I would literally go down the line and say, you haven't been? All right, it's yours. That would be my strategy, just because if at this point I win the family member visit, they don't think I'm doing it for strategy, even though, I mean, the whole time would be for strategy, right? But it wouldn't negatively affect me as much. If you win the family there ain't no winning for you if you win the family member visit, because it's a trap.
You know, the polite thing to do would be to not rub it in their faces.
Yeah,
Anyway, Cochran realizes he can pull off a 3-2-1 to take out Brenda instead of perennial target Eddie, and just needs Dawn on side. Dawn rationalizes the betrayal by saying that Brenda is a
That's right. He ends up winning Cochran. Such a brilliant player.
pretty big jury threat, sure, and takes out her emotional rock who'd comforted her time and time again. The third most brutal elimination in Survivor history is the second blindside of Matt in Survivor Redemption Island. Alrighty,
Oh yeah. I would be pissed.
Matt's first blindside in Redemption Island was fair game. After Ometepe lost the episode 2 immunity challenge, Matt went over to Zapatera and, hold on, let me check my notes here.
Spent the rest of a lot of time on Redemption Island, fought his way back. Oh yeah, that's right. He handshaked the other team, congratulating them. They then voted him out. He spent most of the time on the Redemption Island. The moment he came back, I think he was voted out again.
Shook their hands. For the crime of good sportsmanship, he was sent to Redemption Island. Incredibly, Matt won 6
He was a great guy.
duels in a row to re-enter the game at the merge, and everyone's like, okay, yeah, let's give this kid a mulligan on the first post-merge vote. Mike, the de facto leader of Zapatera, tries to pull in Matt to vote with them, which Matt flirts with the idea of, but touchingly decides to stay true to his faith and the rest of his former tribe mates.
I'm with y'all. I want to continue relationships with our tribe.
Wrong! Matt, flip! Matt foolishly makes the mistake of telling Boston Rob he was considering betraying him, and Rob rallies the troops to take out a variable, flex his ironclad grip on Ometepe,
He's such a decent guy, too. Such a decent guy.
and give Matt a one-way ticket back to Redemption Island.
And I think he almost makes it back. I think he lost the last challenge.
I hate to agree with David Murphy, but when you're right, you're right.
I think he almost makes it back, but then loses in the last challenge, if I'm remembering correctly. Or not in the last challenge, but one of the last ones, and then gives his Bible to somebody, I believe. It's been a while. It's been a while, but I loved Matt. He was a good guy.
At number 2 is Kathy's elimination at the final 3 of Survivor Marquee.
Oh no, or somebody gives their Bible to him. It's one of the ways.
Okay, fast forward to the final 4 of Marquesas. Vesepia has immunity and is at an impasse. She can basically join Nalia and Pascal in voting out Kathy, or side with Kathy, force a tie, and see what happens. V and Kathy seal the deal on a Final 2 alliance right then and there at Tribal Council, roll the dice on the tiebreaker, and Pascal draws the dreaded purple rock and is voted out by random chance, essentially sealing the deal on a Kathy and Vesepia Final 2. But at the Final 3 challenge, V, Kathy, and Florence Pugh and Midsummer do the old hand on an idol challenge to see who gets to take who to the Final 2. After Kathy drops out of the challenge, V doesn't even let her sit
Yeah, that was an insane challenge.
down before stone-faced cutting a Final 2 deal with Nalia instead, which
Oh, yes.
Nalia accepts instantly, and then
That was
they both
terrible.
step off. This happens literally within seconds of Kathy dropping out. I'm not even sure Kathy was completely processing what was even happening. Nalia casts the eliminating vote for Kathy at Final 3, but it's V's complete and utter lack of remorse, and the fact that she didn't even try to pretend that betraying Kathy was a hard decision, that seals the deal on this being one of the coldest moves in Survivor history.
Yep.
Where was Vesepia on Winners at War again? The coldest vote in Survivor history is Lex's vote off in Survivor All-Star.
Oh, no. Both of mine were not on there. I think the Eric one for sure should have been on there, where he was talked into giving away his immunity idol, and then they voted him off. And I don't know. Maybe the Sandra one wasn't as cold-blooded, but I think it was still pretty cold-blooded.
Before we get to the elimination itself, I need to provide the proper historical context for Survivor All-Stars.
Yeah, no. This one specifically, he's like, take care of her. And he takes care of his his girl, and then he turns on him.
In those early days of Survivor, a great deal of the players from seasons 1 through 7 knew each other, hung out frequently, even dated. Just ask Ethan. Playing on Survivor was and still is a very exclusive
I'm happy for Ethan overcoming cancer.
Experience. The kind of thing that you can't really understand unless you've been through it. So for those early players who were also reckoning with their very sudden fame, being around other former survivors gave you a friend to talk to who could understand an experience only a little over 100 people had even had. And 2 cross-season players who were particularly close were Lex and Boston Rob. Anyway, as All-Stars progressed, the game got very dirty very quickly, with very real betrayals of real-life friendships, notably Lex voting out Colby and Ethan. At Final 10, there's a tribe swap, which incredibly sees everyone swapping tribes except Amber. As the new Shapira tribe heads to tribal council, Rob says a few words to Lex that probably still haunt his dreams.
If you can.
Lex sticks true to his deal with Rob and votes out Jerry instead of Amber, in part because he hopes to join with Rob and Amber after the merge, but also because Rob is his real-life friend. Rob repays that foolish favor at the merge,
immediately voting him out
by immediately targeting Lex, who is the figurehead of Mogo Mogo and easily Rob's toughest strategic competition left. Watching Rob tell Lex he's toast is genuinely uncomfortable. It's like being a fly on the wall during a very bitter breakup. Dang, I've been Rob, Lex, and even Kathy in this situation before. Never be home while your roommate is getting dumped, guys. However, I can't not mention that all this outrage is pretty rich coming from Lex, who was blindsiding his real-life friends left and right.
True.
But that's neither here nor there. That night, under a very cinematic downpour, Rob completes his transformation from plucky construction worker into the Rob father, and a very bitter Lex is sent to swim with the fishes. Figuratively, at Ponderosa. Got nothing else for ya. To keep the YouTube algorithm from cold-bloodedly dumping me, like and subscribe and I'll get you more Survivor content just like this. Until next time, don't get idled out.
That was good. That was really good. I liked it. I would disagree on a few of them, obviously. I think cold-blooded wise, I think the getting him to give up his idol and then voting him out immediately was pretty cold-blooded. I think he went more personal cold-blooded, which I understand, but still pretty cold-blooded. The best fake spoilers in Survivor history. Okay, we got some to watch. I'm gonna definitely check out more of his videos because he pretty good. So anyways, if you liked this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, you can give it a thumbs down. It's not going to hurt me. Or you can give it a thumbs up. It's not going to hurt you. If you're new or you haven't subscribed yet, please do. We're on our way to 14K, and I loved it. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. And as always, YouTube, until next time, smile like you mean it from the Bushy Beard.